The Hamish and Andy Show podcast. Powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.
What a great tie and shirt combination you've got on, Ham.
Thanks very much. I stole it off a banker, and then I just sold all these properties to China, and then I bought 1 million shares in that cool new company out of Taiwan.
Well, that's board meeting chat.
That's board meeting talk. Cool Corp, Taiwan's hottest new company.
Board meeting is now in session, everybody. Thank you for joining us through your iPods or Zunes.
Yep. Or your iRiver, if you are an iTunes denier, like my dad.
Well, speaking of your dad then, Ham, I wouldn't mind just starting with one, if that's
Absolutely.
all right.
There's probably a 90% chance it's about hats, but far away.
The board recognises Orania.
Orania.
And she writes, it's a shame Noel, in brackets Hamish's dad, in case we didn't know.
Good, because Noel Gallagher often comes on the show.
Wasn't in London on the 31st of October.
Absolutely.
My boyfriend now found this beauty outside Waterloo train station, just resting in the bike lane.
It will be a hat.
A real man's hat. And she's right. And if I just turn my computer around to you, Ham.
Oh, yeah.
As you can see,
fedora.
Yeah.
It's a great hat. Dad has a fedora.
Okay. That wouldn't have meant that, obviously, for people who just tuned in for the first board meeting ever, your dad is a collector of hats. Never likes buying them. In fact,
hasn't bought a hat for years. Yeah. The fedora might have been the last hat he bought.
Really?
I think that's when he discovered his love of hats. And then, hot on the heels of that, came his love of found hats. Yeah. Doesn't like to be given them. No. You have to find them. Yeah. He's still... I had a mate of ours email me through the other day and said, hey, forward this on to your dad. It's in the city. And it was a fluoro yellow hat just on the pavement. And I forwarded it to Dad, and he just wrote back, he just sent back a picture of him, again, the same picture of him with the police hat on that he found. As if to say,
it's not better
don't send me through low-quality hats. Because this is where that's where his benchmark is now.
Is that true?
Now that he's found the police hat. Even though he handed it in... He handed in the police hat because it was too much responsibility for a citizen to handle. He handed it in like an illegal firearm.
Well, hey, for Orania, was this a good suggestion? Because obviously, if he's getting picky with regards to the hats,
I think he's getting picky with caps.
Caps, yeah.
And
he's got
with
too many
hats,
caps.
with hats, he still has a lot of respect.
Yeah. So we definitely respect and think it was a great decision for her to send it through. But obviously, the flights to incurred to get to England. And on the off chance it's still there, two weeks later, I don't think it's a risk Noel will take.
Well, it might not be, but Dad's the hat whisperer's code is no distance too far, no hat too dirty. We will grab those hats. So it's good to know. It's good. I mean, he might travel overseas again one day, and it's nice to have that. It's nice to have a goal in life. His kids are grown up now. There's very little for him to live for in regards to our achievements. Yeah. So it's nice for him to have goals and know that other hats are around.
You can shred that one.
Do you know what, though? It's such a lovely thing that Orania sent him, but Dad's level of arrogance with hats is now at the point where, were he to go to London, he would be hoping to find either one of the Palace Guards fluffy hats.
Beefeater.
Like it, a Beefeater hat.
Okay,
a big bearskin hat, or ideally the Queen's crown. Just lying on the pavement. Yeah. That's the kind of hat that Dad's after now.
That's fair enough as well.
And the board recognises Stephen Costin.
Board recognises Stephen Costin, yeah.
Steve has sent in a life tricks for us.
All right.
Here you go, guys. Another life tricks for you.
Now
we get a lot of
Can
these.
I preface this by saying that the last time I brought live tricks to the table on this show, a lot of them were shut down. In fact, I think I got a grand total of nil. Was it, Jack? Were you keeping the minutes?
I don't know. I just remember the one you brought to the table, something like drink water if you're thirsty.
Yeah. If you're watching TV, go during the ad breaks because the ads are the bit you want to watch the least, or something like that.
Okay. What's this one?
Don't think necessarily that I'm backing Steve's life tricks here. Yeah. But it's always the purpose of bringing up these life tricks is it is great to see different thinking, and it's great to it's sometimes inspiring to look at lateral solutions for life's little problems. Because if you're with your mates and you're discussing what to have for dinner, say that if we get pizza, I'll pay. So first of all, you're thinking, how is this a trick? You've accidentally walked into a payment trap here. Get smarter. So when they agree to this, and the delivery guy is near arrival, so you have to sort of know the estimated delivery time. You have to sense he's near. This is the best bit. And I think this is the linchpin of the plan.
All right.
Quickly have a shower for roughly 20 minutes. So I'd say that it's a life trick that's worked. Roughly, quickly have a 20-minute shower. So I'd say that it's a life trick that's a lot easier to pull off at your own home.
Yeah.
Because if I was at your place, Ando, it would be out of character for me to just jog to the shower and sit in there for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This way, when you're in the shower, your friends accept the pizza and they're forced to pay. When you get out of the shower... Again, say this is at your house. When I come out to the lounge room just toweling my hair off going, oh, hey, guys. When you get out of the shower, you can deny all claims that when they accuse you of saying that you agreed to pay for when they accuse you of being a tight ass, because you can say you did agree to pay for the pizzas. May lose friends, won't lose dollars. What he does fail to cover off is the fact that quite often your friends are happy to bridge your financial gap, I'd say for 10 minutes.
Exactly, yeah.
To go, hey, mate, we paid for the
interest-free often.
You owe us $5. I don't know how you go about going, no, you know the rules with pizza. You have to pay on the spot, and then if you're not at the doorway, you don't have to pay.
And you're barley if you're in the shower.
You know the rules. If you're soaking wet when the pizza comes, you never have to pay.
Well, I think we could shred that life tricks.
But it's great thinking, Steve, because what it shows is not one of the traditional life tricks. It's a young man called Steve who obviously loves pizza.
And
not too respectful of water restrictions
or friendships,
but certainly loves free pizza, and I rate that.
Well, let me bring another life tricks to the.
Yep.
Now, I think this. I agree with you that I bought some ones a little short of the mark the other day, but I wanted.
Have you guys heard of Velcro? It's better than laces and faster.
The reason I did that was just to establish a line, because we had a lot of people emailing tricks that weren't tricks. The only way you can really establish a line is dip below it.
Pay for a can of Coke with exact change. You don't have to wait for the change at the vending machine.
Here's a live
crossing the road. Don't get hit. That way you don't have to be in hospital for the rest of the day.
Hey, the border recognises Jared Ubas.
Ubas.
Yeah.
Who does?
Ubas. Jared, he comes with a ripper here, I reckon.
Yep.
Guys, bit of a life tricks for you.
Listening.
If you lose your phone charger, instead of buying a new one for $20 or $10, just go to the nearest hotel and claim you left one behind. It's the most common lost property at hotels. There's always plenty of different brands to choose from.
That's good. Although it does summon the situation where you say, I lost my phone charger, and they go, which one is it? You say, let's have a look at what you got. Let's lay out the gear.
What I think he's saying is you specify your one.
You're bound to
you
get
say
an iPhone
iPhone
charger.
Or you say BlackBerry. You don't go, give us a look at all
I've
of them.
lost all of them. And I hope you don't mind I set up this stall outside. That's a great life trick.
Yeah. So, Jared Ubas.
Because it is... Whenever you leave something at a place like that, you very rarely expect to get it back.
No.
Although I think because of there must have been a spate of. Do you reckon, like you and I, we travel a little bit, so we're sometimes it's necessary for us to stay in hotels if we don't have a caravan on hand. Do you reckon because of stories of housekeeping people thieving stuff over the years, hotels, we especially notice this when we're traveling around America, they go the other way. I had someone ring me and say, you've left something in the room when we were in a place in America, just at like a travel lodge.
What was it?
It was one Barocca in the tin. And I said, you can just save it for the Christmas party. That's okay, guys.
You're welcome.
There was a lot of your belongings left in the bin. Do you want them back?
Do you reckon if you had a situation where you left your Bible in the side drawer.
I would never leave my Bible, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Keep a good eye on it.
But they wouldn't believe you because...
If there was two Bibles there and they were different brands, they would go, bought your personal Bible.
Yeah, I suppose.
It does look like you bought your Bible to fact-check their Bible. On page 86, I think you've got a misquote from St. Peter.
But we can put that down as Jared. Thank you for that life trick.
That's a bloody good life trick.
Thanks for that.
And the board recognises Matt Whiteoak.
Okay. Matt Whiteoak.
This is a subject that's been brought up before in board meetings, but it's good to get a little bit of clarity on this because we often hear reports that Hogs' song, I Hate Mondays, that he invented and was scored by Newton Faulkner, we do hear it getting some airplay. Here's a little bit more to the piece of the puzzle. He works in a shopping centre. Like I said, we do have an automated system with 24 channels that plays different styles of music. He says, today over the speaker, I heard I Hate Mondays coming out of one of our channels. Yeah. The only time we've ever heard his song played is at the shopping centre, and we didn't know if it was a radio station or whatever. I feel like we need to find out what company is supplying this system.
Yeah.
And then from there we find out what channel Hogs is on. Do we agree with the channel? Is he on easy listening? Because I don't think it's easy listening. I think it's a song that challenges convention. I think it'd be more of an alternative or progressive song.
Yeah.
Is it on classical?
Yeah. Probably not.
It is a classic, but it shouldn't be on the classical channel.
No, doesn't have
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So number one, we double check that Hogs is on the right channel.
Yep.
Number two, we make sure he's getting royalties from this. Has he received any royalties? You've seen him more recently than I. He's got twins on the way.
Twins on the way.
Walking around a little spring in his step, a few jewels in the teeth.
Well, as far as he's got two ventures going at the moment. One is I Hate Mondays, the single. Which is
under the law of accelerating returns. Seeing a big profit.
I think because it got to number one
on iTunes.
On iTunes, I think top 10 in New Zealand.
Just a regular. Yep.
And also, I think it got top 10 in something weird in Denmark as well.
Yeah, it did do well overseas. It was a touch of Hasselhoff's to it.
I think maybe people were downloading it thinking, oh, Newton Faulkner's brought out a new song.
Good on him.
And then they haven't bought a Newton Faulkner album since. but
Hogs needs all the money he can from this signal to defend against Newton Faulkner's lawsuits that he's ruined his image.
I believe Hogs has only totaled $700 for the whole thing.
That first iTunes whack.
He would be entitled to some kind of APRA royalty per listen. So if it's in a shopping centre, that's good news, I would say.
What was the percentage that he was getting? Was it less than 2%?
I think it was 1%.
I thought he was making 7 cents per track.
Yeah,
that's about right, isn't it, Jack? And it was $1.80.
Yeah,
that's right, $1.60. Yeah, so 7 cents is we're looking at roughly sort of 4% he's making.
I don't think it was that high. But anyway.
Maybe he shared the 7 cents.
Anyway, it wasn't great news. The second venture he's got, he did launch on our radio show called Doggy Dog, which is coats for dogs.
Dog coats.
And good we asked him to bring up a jingle, and he stole Pick-a-Part's jingle.
That's true.
He sung Doggy Dog, Doggy Dog, Doggy Dog, Doggy Dog. Anyway, so far I don't think he's sold any coats.
Yep. A lot of cold dogs.
No, and heading into summer, I'd fear that that he's not going to sell too many more. He
might need to bring out a range of board shorts for dogs or something.
He has got twins on the way, like you said, Ham. He sent through an email triumphantly the other day that just simply read, "Guys, those that think it's funny that I haven't sold any dog coats yet, suck on this. I sold 3 today." And it was met by an email back from one of our other friends, Tom, that said, "So you got 1 each for the twins. Who's the other one for?" So obviously his mates aren't as supportive. Yeah, it stinks.
There's probably a lot of truth to that. It's almost, it brings up sort of like, shady Wall Street images of Hogs just buying 1 million of the coats himself to drive stock prices up and just warehousing them somewhere. But look, I think it's an ongoing project. If you're listening and you do have this system, it seems to be Australia-wide, this shopping centre system, let us know. If you can give us any more insight onto what channel Hogs' song is being played on,
some cash.
What sort of regularity it's on. It seems obviously, this sounds very cynical, but it's possible that the company that puts together these channels just look at what's in the iTunes top 10 at a given time and do a sweep through it. Yeah. And have accidentally caught the dolphin that is Hogs' song in their fishing nets, and it now ends up on regular rotation at shopping centres. But look, I also think it's very possible that they sit down, they have a good listen to all the songs, and they've picked the best quality music in Australia.
I recognise brilliance
over the past 10 years. So however it happens, love to know more. I really want to get to the bottom of how I Hate Mondays has ended up on these playlists.
Let's not shred that one. Let's keep it. Let's come back to it.
That's ongoing business.
The board recognise John Butterworth.
Hey, Johnny.
Guys, just thought I'd let you know that I've jumped on the Mongo nickname bandwagon, and I'm attempting to label one of my mates with the name. Fingers crossed it sticks. I'll get back to you.
Well, not just a thank you from us, but also my girlfriend, Zoe, this is where this thing started. Her contention was most guys, so over 50% under the Webster's definition, most guys have a friend called Mongo. And I brought it to Andy and Jake and said, do you guys know a guy called Mongo? We know a guy called Munga, not Mongo.
Short for humongous.
Quick survey on the radio show revealed that almost no one, to our knowledge, is called Mongo. But it's great to see that we're trying to introduce it. So maybe one day her theory will hold true.
Well, and how brilliant from John. And it just recognises that we picked
a bloody good listener.
That we picked the right kind of name to go after during our random call days. Because John's again triumphant.
Prove themselves.
You'd never see a Rob Butterworth writing in with such.
Rob Butterworth would be going, "Hey guys, I know a Mongo, and I'm trying to get him renamed Tickles because I'm the natural enemy of your show." To any Robs that are listening, obviously. Yeah. Underlying that, there is a deep love from us to you.
You can shred that one.
Has to be said, we are suspicious of Robs. Got a little bit of I suppose this is a bit of a personal one, but on the website at hamishandandy.com, we get a lot of emails, a lot of people trying to help me with my love coaching pursuits by pitching themselves to you. Hey, Andy, I've got a friend, such and such, you should meet them. And I'd be lying if I said I hadn't noticed that a lot of the mail we get to the website is of an affectionate nature for my high-cheekboned, scruffily good-looking friend sitting in front of me. So it was nice to get an email from someone that had a little bit of a thing for the old HD. I'll just quickly read it to you. Hamish, I long for you, right?
Okay.
Cool. I long for you. As I stand in my stable, waiting for you to come back to England and marry me. It's from Greg the Horse.
Yes, you had a bit of a love-hate, I'd say tumultuous relationship with a horse in...
Doesn't matter who it is, be they man, woman, human or horse, whether they wrote with hands or hoofs, I'll still take it as fan mail.
Hey,
the board recognises, retrospectively, Greg the Horse.
Acidic relationship, that one, mate. It was. I would, as a close friend, and we've got through it, I don't think you should go back and see Greg again.
Look, you wouldn't understand.
No, I know, but for your own good, and I didn't step in long ago. I said, hey, it's fine if you want to jump on top of Greg and Greg wants to buck you off. Quite in a literal sense.
He didn't say no with his mouth, but pretty good body language for you. I'm pretty sure he didn't want me on there.
I just don't think it's going to work out for you two.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Shred that,
shred that.
Shred that, Jack. Shred that. Get that out of my sight.
I don't want to bring up an old feud between you and I, Ham.
Oh, great, don't. Okay, so...
but when Rachel and Emily emailed in, it just felt like maybe it was worth just throwing their thoughts in the mix.
Yeah, sure.
So the board recognises Rachel and Emily. I think they've used Emily's account, though, judging by the email address.
Rachel already hiding behind them. Let's see what she has to say.
Guys, was listening to one of the earlier podcasts from last year when you were debating who's Milhouse and who's Bart from The Simpsons.
Easily on Bart.
My vote is Andy's Bart.
Oh, here we go.
Because
he
keeps getting himself into trouble. He's being the tough one and putting himself out there while Hamish just sits around being a chicken. Not my words, Ham. The words of Rachel and Emily.
Based on what, Emily?
And not doing anything.
Oh, Emily at andylee.com.
You wanted to know what I really thought about the whole Simpsons cast? Andy reminds me of Akira, the karate teacher, because you're a ninja, and Hamish, of course, is Homer.
I'll take that. Highest paid, gets a lot of merch, has some great catchphrases. Akira, the karate teacher, who I'm pretty sure they just put in a different costume and made one of the sushi chefs the night Homer eats blowfish. Well, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
No. The other thing is, and this goes against me in my case, Rachel and Emily have just turned 13.
Yep.
So obviously the Simpsons have been going for, 20 years?
Yeah. 22nd season, I think they're in.
So I'd dare say that their kind of take on the whole thing isn't as expert as, say, others.
Sure, absolutely. If they said something like, Hamish, you're Homer back when he was voiced by a different guy during the Quidgibo episodes, then I'd very much feel like that was a kick in the guts because no one liked that Homer. Hey, Ando.
Yeah.
The board recognises Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson
has put himself up to be my backflip wingman.
What does that involve?
He said he's
finding
recently
new locations to backflip.
Well, he's recently taught his girlfriend to backflip, and he's been doing backflips on his backyard tramp for 10 years.
Wow.
Landed his first backflip when he was 8 years old, and he's been doing them ever since. I can help Hamish backflip because I have a world-class backflip facility in my backyard.
Oh, you don't?
I'm pretty sure he's just referring to his trampoline. I'll be able to teach Hamish in the safest way possible, as I've got a full-face helmet and motocross neck brace that Hamish could wear while he practices backflips. Currently also having a gap here, so I've got, but obviously not overseas. I've got plenty of time to become a dedicated backflip wingman.
Hey, again, there's been a lot of talk about, excuse me, the backflip, but how much weight have you lost? Since the Friday show, on the weekend, did you do any exercise?
Went for a brisk walk. I did do something. What did I do? Oh no, I skipped lunch. I skipped lunch on Saturday. Skipped lunch and had a respectable dinner.
You would have slept in. So you had a late breakfast and straight
brunch. But then had cutting out a meal though. That's cutting out a third of your calorie intake.
Well, the board's going to recognise David Wills, and we're going to come back to that one, Ham, because this is what's interesting. Dear Hamish, that's what it's. And unfortunately, I accidentally opened your mail, so I apologise for that.
That's all right.
Don't do it, he's saying. Don't lose the weight. Losing the weight to go on a trampoline is crazy.
No, it's not. I miss trampolines.
You're forgetting it was that weight that got you the bodybuilding trophy.
Sure. But I've got a long time before I need to start training again to get back to 100 kilograms to get me in the... And bearing in mind, it was actually about 95 kilos plus was my category that I was the only person in at Mr. New York State. So I can safely lose 6 kilograms and still be the only person in my category. Well, David, we don't need me to get to 200 kilos just to make sure.
So you're happy enough with... David was just flagging that. I'd love to see you take off the weight. And
I'd love to just be 1 pound into my 200-pound category.
Great. Okay.
Because obviously I've got to defend my title next year.
Yep. So as far as the backflip goes, Ham, when do you commence exercise? And then when do you commence backflip training?
Well, I've ordered these shakes. I'm waiting for these shakes to come through. Because I think, as part of Operation Don't Panic and the panic that goes along with that, the last 2 weeks will just be shakes. That's all I'll eat, just shakes to get me down to the weight. My gym buddy, Adriana Lima, I was reading something in Who magazine this week about her. That's pretty much her diet before a catwalk. So we work out the same gym. We have done once.
You'll be dressed as a cat.
Yep. So it's a lot of similarities. She's got angel wings on when she does Victoria's Secret stuff. I'll have a leopard's tail. So we both look like mythical creatures. And that's why I'm going to very much adopt her philosophy of just shakes for 2 weeks leading up to the backflip. And then I think the week of, I'll actually start doing a little bit of trampoline work.
Who are you going to...
I'll be ready to practice.
Who are you going to... Just 1 week of backflip training.
Well, once you nail it, you got it nailed. Okay. You don't want to overthink
it. One thing that's a worry for all of us with you going to the shakes, and I speak on behalf of Cackling Jack and myself here. I'm sure he'll give me a knowing nod when he knows what I'm going to say. You can get cranky when you don't have the right tasty food.
Hey, that'd be a horrible 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Don't worry about how you guys feel. Think about how I'm feeling. No chicken, nothing fried, no dim sims.
Yeah, we know.
Pancakes are out.
Yeah.
Pancakes. I know flying high and doing a backwards rotation is fun, but geez, so are ricotta pancakes.
It's actually flapjacks, all those things.
Well, I don't know what a flapjack really is. I think it's what American lumberjacks ate.
So what are we got to do during that time?
You just got to knuckle down. You got to bunker down. It's a team effort. Obviously, you're going to have to bear the brunt of my low blood sugar fury. Look, it's the price we all have to pay to see me soar high, snap my knees to my chest, use centripetal motion to perform a backflip, look back, arch my back. Once I'm around over the 90-degree arch, snap my legs out and land gently on bent knees. That's the technique you use to perform a backflip, and that is what I shall be doing. It will all seem worth it.
We can't
on
wait.
that last show of the year.
We can't wait to stand by.
We're going to wrap up. Quickly, the last person, if we could just, from my side of things, is to recognise Liz Ty.
Liz Ty.
Recognises Liz Ty. So, Hamish and Andy, with the festive season rapidly approaching, I'm aware that it's not going to be long before my kids start asking what they want for Christmas. I'd like to know if there's any Hamish... Well, I'd like to know why there's not any Hamish and Andy merchandise. Now, Liz might have missed the message that the DVD of Gap Year is out November 17.
It is.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
You can look at the website. We're doing a few signings around the country.
Yeah.
But she said, look, I just thought I'd directly ask you, why can't we have a nice, tasteful Hamish and Andy shirt?
Hang on. So would you... That means buttons and a collar.
Well, it's up to us. Now, what would you... I mean, I thought maybe as a final exercise today we could design the shirt. What would you like to see on the Hamish and Andy shirt? I've always been a fan of the Looney Tunes merchandise you see at Granny Mae's and What's New. So I think you, me and Jack embroidered on the back as caricatures. That's tasteful. And as a polo. And with the Hamish and Andy logo on the left pocket.
Yes.
2 pockets, maybe, I thought. A polo with 2 pockets is a nice, tasteful shirt. Here's something I've never seen done. Long sleeve polo with button up front. Business polo.
Like the buttons from all the way to the bottom?
All the way down.
That's good. Because I think what we
with
need...
us embroidered on the back as caricatures.
Well, yeah, I'd like to give people the option to wear it to work. Do you know what I mean? But
it's such a comfy thing to wear to work. People might not be able to tell it's a polo from afar. And you know secretly you've got a polo on.
Yeah.
But it's got the buttons and you've got a tie around it and no one knows.
What colour?
Pastels.
Yeah.
Tasteful.
This reminds me of in high school when the students got to design the year 12 end of year shirt that we all got, and you can choose a polo if you wish, but you can also choose a rugby style jumper or hoodie, and we end up going for everything because every student wants to put their hat in the ring.
A rugby hoodie with buttons up at the front.
One long sleeve, one short sleeve. Well, we could do a class of 2011 polo with all the class members' names on the back. It's not a very long list. Hamish Blake, Andy Lee, Jack Post.
Absolutely.
Not pictured.
That's what we've got time for, I think, Cam. Actually, there's one more I thought we could quickly get to. Actually, I've lost it. Don't worry about it.
In the spirit of all good board meetings, I'm sure the same thing happens at the BHP meeting. And actually, we did have one more idea to make money. It was something to do with mining. I can't remember.
I found it. Ryan Hawkins. It's a quick apology. Apology. Listening to your podcast the other day, board meeting 006. So is this 007?
No, I think this is 008. This is 008.
License to thrill.
Khalid emailed from Saudi Arabia.
Yep. From, I believe... what city was he from?
I don't know.
Can't remember. Somewhere in Saudi Arabia.
He said, and we made reference to him being the only podcaster there. Yep. Just want to let you know, I'm also podcasting from Saudi Arabia.
Is he really?
Feel a bit insulted. An apology.
Well, we didn't really do much of an audit, did we?
No. He said an apology would be nice. Otherwise, it might go back to 1.
Yeah. No, that's.
So, Jack, would you mind saying sorry? Sorry.
I believe. Was Khalid from Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia?
I wondered why you weren't talking.
No, good. Yeah, it's really. Yeah, it's Saudi Arabia. Just your classic 2.24 million square kilometre country.
Board meeting adjourned, everyone.
Should we say sorry?
Sorry, Ryan.
Sorry about that. We welcome all globally, everyone listening, be you southern hemispherically bound, the Middle East, wherever you may be, Antarctica, thanks for listening.
That was I'd already adjourned the board meeting, so it doesn't...
Was that off the record?
I think so.
That's all right. Still, I actually think it makes it
a bit nicer.
A little bit more heartfelt.
Yeah.
Because it's not on the record, not doing it for publicity, just doing it from our heart.
That was the Hamish and Andy Show podcast, powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.